Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm back with another K-drama to see, have you already seen it? And if not, is this something that you would check out? So before we get into this video, you already know the drill. Like this video, follow me for more, and share this with someone that you know that would be into K-dramas and will potentially check it out. Okay, so let's get into it. The name of today's K-drama is called Shopping King Louis or Shopaholic Louis. Okay, so when the show starts out, we essentially see our main male lead, and he's a sheltered, spoiled, rich kid. And we come to find out that his butler is the only person that he really has that he interacts with on a daily basis, aside from the rest of the staff, because he lives really far away from his grandmother. It seems that a shaman had predicted that the grandmother had some kind of something in her life, which was the reason why she lost her son, she lost her husband. And since they typically say that deaths come in three, that technically would mean that her grandchild would be the third. So to protect him, she keeps him as far away from her as possible. Now, while he is as far away as possible, the only thing that she can do is coddle him with money. So he develops a shopping habit, or really a shopping addiction. And all he does is shop, shop, shop. And he has an eye that's really keen to one of a kind merchandise. And so anytime he goes to the high end luxury stores, he's able to detect which of these items is one of a kind. So that's his skill or talent, I would say. One day, while our shopping king Louis is watching a documentary, he sees this young woman, and her name is Bookshil. I don't remember what her last name was. And he immediately falls in love with her. And he, one, tries to order one of the roots that she was saying that if you have a cough, it'll help you feel better. And then his butler had to remind him, this isn't a shopping network, this is a documentary. And then he learned her backstory, that it's just her younger brother, and her grandmother, and that she's the head of the household and responsible for their well being. But her grandmother is sick. And then Bookshil is actually showing us how she stores the food where she lives and that they're not able to have a lot of things. Now, Louis instinctively tells his butler, order a fridge and send it to her location. He says, well, even if I did, they don't have electricity, so it would only be good for being used as storage. Okay, so as everything progresses, eventually, the show is done, but we can tell that Louis is heavily into this girl. He ends up trying to, I would say, flee from his grandmother, or at least that's what the grandmother had a dream about. And because she was so stressed out by this dream, she collapsed. What ends up happening is Louis learns about it, and he's trying to find a flight over there. Now, unfortunately for the butler, there's only one seat available on that flight, and so Louis has to kind of fly by himself. And keep in mind, he's been sheltered his entire life, so the butler kind of feels like, oh my gosh, this is very scary. You're going to be on the flight by yourself. Hopefully the worst doesn't happen. He said, actually, don't worry. I will be on the following one. One day, while foraging in the woods, she finds this very rare ginseng, and she has hopes of bringing it to her grandmother, who is extremely ill. Now, what ends up happening is when she gets back to her home, she finds her grandmother unconscious, and she rushes over to her, but unfortunately, the worst has happened. Her grandmother is already gone. So she sets out to Seoul in hopes of finding her younger brother, who took off. And really, him taking off, the stress of that is really what caused the grandmother to end up in a state of health that she was in. And so our girl, feeling that she has no choice, one day takes off for Seoul in pursuit of trying to find her brother. Now, what she has no idea is that one, when she gets there, there's a woman that presents herself as very trusting, and she asks that woman to watch her bag. Now, instead, that lady, when the girl returns, that lady has made off with her bag, and she's nowhere to be found. And our main female lead is ultimately stressed because, remember, that rare ginseng that she found, the one that grows once every 50 years, was supposed to be in that bag. But then we luckily see that our girl was really smart, and she taped it to her body, and she knew not to trust some random stranger just off of some words. And so she ultimately hits the streets thinking, maybe if I can sell this for, 5 grand, 1 grand, whatever I'm able to get, I'll probably get closer to finding my younger brother and let him know that our grandmother has passed. And so what ends up happening is she sets out trying to find him or locate him. And when she gets outside, she sees a crowd of people around, well, a crowd of women around someone on the stairs. And as she gets closer, she recognizes that that tracksuit looks exactly like the one that her brother had before he left. She grabs him thinking that it's her brother, and unfortunately for her, it's not. But to our surprise, it is actually our shopping king, Louis. Now, how did he get here? His car was hit by a K-drama truck of doom after he was leaving, I believe, the airport. And after that happened, and he was still conscious, he did lose his memory, so he had no idea who it was, the people that, attacked him, but a group of men did attack him, and they recognized that he had a tracksuit similar to their friend Boknam, who is, yes, you're right, Bokshil's younger brother that they're looking for. Now they rob him of everything that he has on him, and they leave. And then that's how he wanders off with the other homeless people to where our main female lead found him on the stairs. So you really just have to watch the show just to kind of see, does Louis gain his memory back? Is he ever reunited with his grandmother before it's too late? Does he ever take his rightful place at the grandmother's company? Is he reunited with his butler because they had such a cute relationship? Now, this is one of those K-dramas that I would say you put on if you're looking for a really good laugh. This whole series was hilarious, like hilarious, okay? But as usual, thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks. Bye.